Good morning, student. Today we are going to read class 7th SST Geography, chapter number 10, that is Transport and Communication, part 1. So, student, in this chapter we will understand that the transport, how the transport is developed, and the different means of transport as well as the means of communication. Now, first of all, we have to understand what is transport. To transport is what? For the for traveling of people as well as the movement of product, any particular product or good from one place to another. That is known as transport. So, in the ancient or the earliest time, uh, people used to travel by their foot, or they used to carry the loads on their back. But when the wheel was introduced, when the wheel was introduced, after that they started carrying the product by using the carts by their own. But when they started the domestication of animals, that also helps after the invention of wheel to carry the products by using the animals. So this is the starting of transport system from the ancient time until the time passes. This has changed into the several forms from that particular wheels, from the animal using carts, to the bicycle, to the motor bicycle, to the motor cars, planes, and various transport for the people, for the humankind, from the wheels only. So this was the development that is made by the human being. So people, before the wheel was discovered in the 5,000 years ago, they used to carry them load themselves and they move on the foot. Bark canoes and a crude raft is used to travel over the water. So there you can see the picture of bark canoes. Bark canoes is what? Just a bark of any trees which can float on the water bodies. So they use these things to travel on water. And when they started the domestication of animal, they used the animals as a pack carrier and served as a vehicle. So when the animals were domesticated, so they started using the animals for the goods carrier as well as the people used to travel from one place to another. In the Bronze Age, when the wheel was discovered nearly about 3500 BC, so the human life is get changed a lot after the invention of wheel. So wheel was used for the transportation purposes, whether they had made the earlier the cart was driven by the men, and after that it was driven by the animals. But when the technology is improved, when the new invention when the new invention is there, so those wheels were turned into the different vehicles, whether it is in the form of bicycles, motorbike, and the other form of transportation. So first of all, in this chapter we have to understand the transport system which is developed. That transportation system is work on which form? So that is work on the various platform, like landways, that is divided into roadways and railways, airways and waterways. So transport system which is travel on the roadways, that we have to understand from this topic. So basically, roads are often regarded as the arteries of development. So why the arteries word is used? Arteries word is used because this is the veins of the development of any nation. So with the help of roads, the product or the trade, basically the trade is possible because of the road only in the inland transport system or the inland uh, inland trade system. So roads are very important, and if the roads are very good and well maintained, so the transportation system will be more good and more effective. So roads are the things which connect the cities, towns, and villages. So if the roads are not proper, so what will happen? So the things which is produced in the villages, that cannot reach to the cities, and the product which is produced in cities, that cannot reach to the villages. So this is why the roads are very important. Roads are of two types, that is metalled and unmetalled. So metalled road is what? It is known as Pakka road. So Pakka road is stronger than the Kacha road, that is the unmetalled road. So mostly in the cities areas the metal road is found, and in the villages areas the unmetalled road is found. So with the help of these roads, the materials or the raw materials from the rural areas is reaches to the urban areas where the factories or the industries are available. So these roads are very helpful in those regions. A good network of road facilitate the trade via movement of raw material to the industrial town and finished goods to the market. So this is the first benefit of the roads, which is used for the uh, carrying the raw material from one place to another and finished good from one place to another. So this is the one of the most important things that is used by the road. Now we have to see some of the advantages and disadvantages of the roadways. Like the roads advantage, the first advantage of the road is it is easier and cheaper to build and maintain. So this one is the easy to build and easy to, it is cheap, means low cost. And the next advantage is the road provide the door to door service. Door to door service means from one place to another the roads are connected and act as a feeder to all form of transport. So roads are the feeder of the all kind of transport, whether the railway transport or the airways transport or the waterway transport. So they are connected by the roads only. They are connected by the roads only. An extremely efficient form of transport over a short distances. Road can be laid in mountain, hilly, and the desert terrains. So the roads can be constructed into another any region of the areas, whether it is mountainous or the hilly or the desert areas. The road can be constructed in any part of the areas easily on the basis of their physical appearance. The disadvantage of the road are like roadways are left efficient in the term of quick transportation and over long distances and rough terrains. So roads are less efficient, so they cannot reaches they take time to reach any particular places on the long distances. Or if the regions are terrains, or we can say the regions are not well, or the mountainous regions or the desert regions. So roads are uh, less efficient during the long distances and long journey. The movement of bulky cargo in large quantities is also not easiest and cheapest by road. Okay, if we need to carry a bulky or the large cargoes or the large huge goods, so this road is not useful because it is not easy to carry a huge amount of goods on the road, as well as it is not cheapest. It is expensive as well. And the next disadvantage of the road is, beside the traffic jam, rising the fuel prices and frequent road accident are recurring problem while traveling by the roads. So during this is the another disadvantage of the road is the traffic jam, because the all of the people can afford the vehicles, so they used to travel with the vehicles, so traffic jams are there. And the rising of fuel prices, so this is another issue which creates the disadvantage of the uh, road transport. And the road accident is very common. So These are the disadvantage of the roadways. Now, uh, the roads, which is the artery of any nation, it is known by the different part of the different part of the world by the different names. Now you can see, you have seen the different lanes, the lane that is for the use for the road, like there are 6 lane, 8 lane, 4 lanes. So what does it means? Lanes means, uh, if I say that 6 lane is there, so 6 lane means the 3 vehicle can move together from one side and 3 vehicle can move from the another side. So this is considered as the 6 lane or 8 lane or the 4 lane. This is the lanes that is created by that. Some these lanes are known by the different names in the various part of the world, like motorways in United Kingdom. So there you can see the United Kingdom is there in the first picture. So there the roads, the highways, basically the highways is known as motorways. In Germany it is known as autobahns. It is known as autobahns. So this is the uh, highways, namely named into the different part of the world. The next is freeways in USA. Now you can see there are various, this is the network of roads that you can observe. So the network of road in the US, or the USA, that is known as the freeways. So these are connected with one part of uh, the one coast to the another coast of the America. So there you can see it is very useful for the transportation. And one more topic, you have to understand the transcontinental roadways. So what is the transcontinental roadways? This is the transcontinental roadway, means from the one corner of the continent to the other corner of continent. First of all, you have to see the Trans East Highway. There you can see the road which is there, uh, from the one end to the another end, from the north end to the south end of the continent, basically. So this is considered as the transcontinental transcontinental highway. In the Canada also, there you can see the Trans Canadian Highway. So from one part to the another, from the eastern part to the western part, this is the transcontinental roadway. Now the next is railway. So railway is what? Railway is the another form of another form of landway transport. First, the railway was in the form of steam engine. The Richard Trevithick, he was the first person who built the first steam engine, that is in 802. Some people used to tell about the James Watt also, or but the Richard Trevithick is the first person who started the steam engine, but later it was given the name by the James Watt. It was advanced in the form of advanced train, but the first it was invented by the Richard Trevithick. Okay, Trevithick. Now you can see the steam engine in the picture, and the steam engine is converted into the another engines in another trains, like the sky rail, the monorail, or the metros. So these are some of the railways, which is the another form, which is the other form of railways that is used by people nowadays. This is due to the development of technology. So how much we have developed, this resulted into the picture what I have pasted in there. These resulted into the development of the technology and the transportation system. So railways is the most cheapest uh, roadway system or the landway system, which help us to carry the many passenger at a time, as well as many huge goods at a time. So this is the railway or the landway transport, which is used for the various purposes. Like the railways is divided into two, that is the passenger train and the freight train or goods train. So passenger train always carries the passengers, and freight train carries the goods or the products, the heavy bulky products. It is used to carry heavy raw materials and finished goods in bulk. So if it is in a good quantity or the huge quantity, so the product can also be transported from one place to another. They are the cheapest means of transportation. So in comparison to the roadways, they are the cheapest from the roadways, but it requires the high investment to build and maintain. So for the maintenance and the building of railway is very expensive, but if it is built once, so the 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 use of those railways are very good, and we can use those the railways uh, on a large scale as well as for the long period of time. The rugged topography poses the hindrance to developing a good railway network. Door-to-door connectivity is also impossible. So the first negative or the disadvantage of the railway is the topography. Topography means in the hilly regions and the uh, desert areas or the higher altitude areas, the railways cannot be laid or the railway tracks cannot be laid, and with the railway cannot provide the door to door connectivity like the roadways provides us the road to road connectivity, door to door connectivity. Likewise the railways cannot provide the door to door connectivity. Now it is easy to access the to those areas which were not accessible earlier, but the advancement of technology, the area which is not accessible earlier, now it is accessible. Like example is there the Qinghai uh, Qinghai Tibet Railway. It is one of the highest railway network that connects the Xining to in China to Lhasa in Tibet and lies at the altitude of 4,000 meter above the sea level. Means from the sea level it is at the altitude of 4,000 meter. Now you can see the picture from where it is connected from Lhasa to the Xining in China. Lhasa is in Tibet and Xining in China. So this is the train route that you can see, the black one. It is used to connect the Tibet to the China. So this is because of the development of technology, and because of that only this is possible to build on a such high altitude, but it was impossible in the earlier days to build these kind of rail network into the remote areas or the areas which is on the higher altitude or the desert areas. So this is the good example of advancement of technology which help us to make these areas to assess the railway network. Now let us see the some of the example which is used for the purpose of the transcontinental railways. So first of all you have to understand the transcontinental railways. What is transcontinental railways? As wise the transcontinental roadways are there which help us to connect from one end to the another end of the continent. Likewise trains are also built or the railways tracks are also built to connect from one end to another end of the country or the continent. Now you can see the Trans-Siberian Railroad that is that is in Russia from Vladivostok to St. Petersburg. So this is the Trans-Siberian Railroad which is been used for the one end to the another end of the continent in the Russia. Now the next is the Canadian Pacific Railway from Vancouver to Toronto. This is the another transcontinental railway from one end to another end of the continent. The next is Trans-Andean Railway, that is in South America, and it is from uh, Trans-Andean Railway from Buenos Aires to the Valparaiso. So this is one of the another transcontinental railway which has been used in the South America. The another continental railway is the Trans-Australian Railway, that is from Sydney to Perth. It is the Trans-Australian Railway or the Transcontinental Railway from one end of the continent to the another end of the continent that is used. Now, due to the advancement of technology, there are some super fast train also introduced, like the bullet train that is used to travel 300 km per hour. Means for in 1 hour we can we can move 300 km with the help of this bullet train. It is also known as Shinkansen in Japan. This was the best example of advancement of technology into the field of railway. The first railway in India was laid, the train which was started, it is on 16th April 1853. This was the first passenger train. It was ran from Borivandar from Bombay to Thane, a distance about 34 km. And it was operated by three locomotives, three engines were there named Sahib, Sultan and Sindh. So this was the three main engines that was used to carry the passenger train on 16th April 1853. It has 13 carriages. It has 13 carriages in that is driven by the three locomotives or three engines, that is Sahib, Sultan and Sindh. The entire track was covered in India is about 67,368 kilometers. This is the ratio that the railway tracks that is laid in India, means the train network, if you can say it is a train network or the tracks which is laid in India, the area which is covered, it's about 67,368 kilometer. Overall, the railway network transported over 23 million passenger every day. In India only, over 23 million passenger travels every day. 1 billion metric ton is carried by the freight train or the good train from one part to the another part of the India. In 2019, this is the data of 2019, in which 23 million passenger travels every day from the Indian Railway, and more than 1 billion metric tons is used to travel from one place to another in a one day. So this is the data that is given in that is the data that is from the railway of the Indian network. So this is the thing that you have to understand. Now you have to write the advantage and disadvantage of the road network in your homework copy. So next topic we will discuss in the next video, that is the waterways and the airways, into the next video. Thank you, students.